The battlefield of life. Life is a battlefield. It's not just about external conflicts. It's about the personal struggles we face every day. We may not fight with swords, but we battle for our goals, dreams, and obstacles. These battles reveal our resilience, strength, and ability to rise above what life throws at us. In Vinland Saga, Askeladd sees the battlefield as a place where the weak die first. This isn't just a statement about physical strength, but about mental and emotional resilience. In life, if we're unprepared, we get left behind. Whether it's pushing through career challenges, overcoming personal loss, or pursuing a passion, the battlefield is real. Success depends on how well we handle adversity and stay determined. Askeladd's worldview teaches us that success isn't about being strong, it's about perseverance. Like his men fighting for riches and glory, we fight for personal growth or recognition. But to succeed, we need to push through all adversity. How often do we feel stuck in our own personal battlefield? We have the tools and the power, but something inside us holds us back. Strength isn't just about overcoming external challenges. Often, more time than not, it's about conquering the internal ones that stop us from moving forward. But we're all chained to something deep inside. The chains of identity. What are we slaves to? Thorfinn's journey is shackled by one unrelenting obsession: revenge. His anger towards Askeladd, the man who killed his father, fuels his every action. His obsession is a chain, one that tethers him to a past he can't move forward from. Despite his physical strength and training, Thorfinn can't break free from the chains he's wrapped around himself. His anger clouds his judgment, and that turmoil holds him back. Askeladd sees this clearly. He knows that vengeance won't bring freedom. It only deepens the chains tightening their grip. And this is a universal truth. Everyone has their own chains, whether they're visible or buried deep within. For Thorfinn, it was his anger and obsession with vengeance. For you and others, it could be the guilt, shame, or fear. These chains shape us, dictate our actions, and define who we are, until we decide to break free. The real tragedy in Thorfinn's story isn't his ability to not defeat Askeladd, it's that he can't defeat the enemy from within. He was trapped in his past, unable to let go of his anger. As long as he held onto it, he remained a slave to it. His chains weren't made of iron, they made of his grudges, regret, and wounds he was unwilling to confront. But how do we break free from something so tied to our identity? The key is recognizing that these chains are self-imposed. They aren't part of us. They're things we've allowed to define us. And to free ourselves, we must confront them and let go. The battlefield within, confronting our internal struggles. Thorfinn had all the power to defeat Askeladd. Physically, he was more capable, but he hesitated. Not because he was weak, but because something inside of him held him back. And this was his thirst for vengeance that weighed him down like chains. These emotional shackles stopped him from acting on his full potential. And this is what we call self-sabotage. Thorfinn's failure to defeat Askeladd wasn't because he wasn't capable, because he was. It's because the unresolved emotions trapped him. His anger and his obsession for revenge was both his strength and his prison. It clouded his judgment and stopped him from moving forward. Even for us, how often do we find ourselves in the same position? We set goals, we chase our dreams, and talk about what we want to achieve, but we don't act. Not because we can't, but because something inside of us holds us back. Fear, regret, and doubt become the chains that stop us from moving forward, and we are our own worst enemies. We must choose to let go of these things that hold us back, and the first step is recognizing the greatest obstacle is ourselves. The enemy is not external, but it is within. The battle within is not a battle against others. It's a battle to let go of what no longer serves us. Apathy and the void of purpose. Be wary of what acceptance and growth feels like, as sometimes it's avoidance in disguise. We often think we've confronted our inner chains, that we've grown and accepted our pain and moved on. But what we may have done is actually trade one cage for another, and apathy is the biggest offender. It masquerades as peace, but it's actually stagnation. It tricks us into thinking we've embraced our pain, but in reality, it freezes us in place. Understand, apathy isn't healing, it's avoidance. It's easy to numb ourselves, to avoid the pain, but avoiding it doesn't bring freedom. It leads to resignation. Apathy robs us of hope, making us feel like we've accepted what's happened, but in truth, we've stopped moving forward. It's easier to avoid discomfort than to confront it, but growth requires us to step into the unknown. Comfort is not the absence of pain, it's the absence of growth. To feel is to live. To reject numbness is to embrace life. We need to fight for purpose and for hope, because apathy won't bring us either. Responsibility and purpose, the path to freedom. Thorfinn's journey isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming his life and discovering his true purpose. For so long, his life was defined by anger, but he begins to realize that true freedom doesn't come from retaliation. It comes from taking ownership of his choices, learning from the past, and choosing a future that's built on purpose. The key to freedom is responsibility. Thorfinn's growth hinged on understanding that he cannot move forward as long as he's tied to revenge. And true freedom is not about escaping our past. It's about acknowledging it, learning from it, and choosing a new path. Askeladd, despite his flaws, understood the importance of purpose. He wanted Thorfinn to find what he couldn't. A life that's not about survival or vengeance, but about meaning and growth. The takeaway is clear. Responsibility and purpose are the foundations of growth. Only when we live according to our values, acting with accountability, do we truly step into our power. Thorfinn's journey was about reclaiming his life from his past mistakes and choosing to act with purpose. Ultimately, Self-discovery is about taking responsibility for our choices, not simply accepting the role life has handed to us, but actually choosing to shape our own path. It's about owning the choices we make, understanding their impact, and using the knowledge to become a better version of ourselves. Throughout Vinland Saga, Thorfinn's journey is one of constant self-discovery. He was driven by the need for vengeance. As the story unfolded, he was forced to confront the reality that true freedom lied in taking responsibility for his actions. For so long, he had been a slave to the past. His anger, his thirst for vengeance, and the painful memories of his father's death. But as he grew, he realized that in order to move forward, he needed to take ownership of his actions, both past and present. Askeladd's final advice to Thorfinn to take responsibility for his past actions and move forward is a powerful reminder that growth comes from embracing our past mistakes and learning from them, rather than letting them define us. And this lesson isn't just for Thorfinn, it's a universal truth for everyone. No matter where we come from, no matter how difficult our past have been, it's never too late to choose a new path and break free from the chains that have held us back. We all have the ability to rewrite our stories, to take the lessons from our past and use them to propel us toward the future we want to create. The key is to own our choices, not to hide from them, not to let them control us, but to accept them as part of our journey. It's in this acceptance that we can find the power to change, grow, and to truly discover who we are meant to be. In the end, self-discovery is about looking at ourselves honestly, embracing our flaws, learning from our mistakes, and choosing to act in a way that aligns with our true purpose. It's about realizing that we have the power to break free from the chains we've created for ourselves, and that the path to freedom lies in taking responsibility for the choices we make. Just as Thorfinn decided to step away from his desire for revenge and start to reshape his own life, we too must make the choice to take responsibility and move forward with purpose. Askeladd and Thorfinn mirror our own struggles with identity and purpose. Their battles, though external, are driven by internal conflicts that we all face. Fear, doubt, and the weight of our past. The real freedom comes from confronting these internal chains and choosing. So let me leave you with this. What chains are you bound by? What do you fight for? For the true battle lies within yourself. Let go of what holds you back and choose to live with purpose. The fight for self-discovery and freedom is yours to take. And thank you for listening. As always, like, comment and subscribe. And until next time, ciao.
あと68発とっとと片付けろ。俺は暇じゃねえんだ。人を待たせてんだよ。お前らはその目で何を見てる。なあ、トルフィンよ、お前はどう思う？本当の戦士ってなんだ？冗談じゃねえ。丸腰相手に本当の戦士には剣などいらぬ。だがなぜ殴り返さないのだ？俺たちは今日会ったばかりだ。あんた方は俺の敵じゃない。誰にも敵などいないんだ。俺に敵なんかいない。
遥か西、海の向こうに、そこは暖かく豊かで、奴隷商人も戦も炎も